It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Hey, good morning and welcome to the first post 4th of July travel and cruise industry news show on this, the 5th day of July 2023, coming to you from Bedford County, Virginia, Central Virginia area. Again, we got a little news this morning, but not a whole lot. But a good way to start off the rest of July. The lead story today is Carnival on track after stock surge. We're also going to look at a Lego cruise. Marella is coming to the Dominican Republic. Nassau continues to break records. And a dock and terminal is proposed for Thailand. Some unusual stories today. That and a lot more here at 11 o'clock this morning. Today, folks, is National Apple Turnover Day. I'm not sure why. You'd think that they'd schedule these kind of things like during apple season. We're not there yet. But anyway, I can deal with a good apple turnover. I like that. If you're listening via the podcast, always welcome. You can access the podcast via my blog, which is accessadventure.net, or wherever you get your podcasts from. The search for travel and cruise industry news, and up pops the Fat Travel Guy. If you're listening via the podcast and ever want to jump over to the video feed, there's always a link in the description of the podcast, so you can do just that. All right. It's been a somewhat crazy morning here this morning, folks. A couple things have happened. Number one, tomorrow we will have a nice guest on the show, one that I'm really looking forward to. So that will be tomorrow. When I get off the show today, first we're going to do the solo cruise show. That will be the cruise deal show with Pete. That will be episode 4, which will be at 1 o'clock my time. And then I've got to haul my big fat butt out of here as quickly as I can get off the air and go over to the hospital and get an echocardiogram done. One of the numerous medical things that I'm having done during my cruise break here this summer. I'm not really looking forward to that, but hopefully I'll get home in time to get in the pool a bit. So that's what's ahead here today and tomorrow. All right, the lead story today, folks, is, let me say this before that. Don't forget to smash that thumbs up button. We appreciate that. If you have not subscribed, please consider to do so. We've been on a nice run on subscriptions lately, which is very nice. So welcome aboard to the new folks. But anyway, the top story today has to deal with Carnival Corporation. And normally I don't get into this part of the cruise world, but I made an exception today. This year so far, Carnival Corporation has made an impressive comeback with its stock price soaring by 133%. This recovery comes after a challenging period for the cruise industry severely impacted by the pandemic. You might also remember back at some time ago, during the pandemic, 2 of our regulars I won't mention any names because one of them we call Hot Air, and the other one we refer to him from where he lives in Pittsburgh, but I won't mention any names. They both jumped out and grabbed some stock when it was like $7, $7.50, something like that a share. Well, it's gone up 133%. That's not a bad investment. Unfortunately, I did not listen to them and did not stick money out what I thought was going to be a big dark rabbit hole. Well, anyway, the recovery's been much faster than many people thought. Many of the experts predicted a much more extended recovery due to the near total shutdown of cruise operations for over a year. With a new CEO and a strategic plan in place, Carnival is navigating towards stability and profitability. Post-pandemic, many industry insiders believed it could take several years, and in some instances up to 2030, for the cruise industry to fully recover. Carnival was one of the companies that took the biggest hits since 2020. The company took on a tremendous amount of debt, and as of 2021 had a total debt of approximately $31.5 billion. That's with a B. The debt load and the stock price had dwindled to just 676 at one time, made the world's largest cruise operator implement several changes, including bringing on John Weinstein as the new CEO of the Miami-based company. Weinstein has introduced a strategic plan called Sea Change, focusing on measured growth, improved profit margins, and significant debt reduction. The acronym SEA stands for Sustainability Through Carbon Intensity Reduction, EBITDA per ALBD, and adjusted ROIC, 3 key performance indicators. His 3-year plan aims to achieve a 50% profit growth per available guest bed, which measures the company's earnings relative to its capacity to accommodate guests. The surge in the stock price, by the way, it was trading a little over $18 before the holiday, is a testament to the investors' confidence in Weinstein's financial plans to bring Carnival back to profitability. It also reflects a strong year that Carnival's having so far. Now, you got to look at some of the reasons why. Number one, we're sailing, close to full. And despite a rise in cost, Carnival has seen an improvement in earnings relative to its capacity, reaching 73% of pre-pandemic levels. This improvement is driven by that pent-up demand, leading to increased bookings and higher prices with higher profits. Carnival badly needs the money that the ships are generating. The company plans to use this cash flow to pay down the debt ceiling, easing the financial burden accumulated during the pandemic. The significant debt load has been weighing down the company, prompting announcements that the cruise company would limit new builds and take action in several other places to reduce costs. One such has been downsizing Costa Cruises and upsizing Carnival Cruise Line. Before the pandemic, Costa put all its efforts into breaking into the Chinese cruise market. However, when China locked down, the Italian cruise line was stuck with overcapacity. Costa Luminosa and Costa Venezia are now sailing for Carnival Cruise Line as Carnival Luminosa, and Carnival Venezia and Carnival Firenze will be transferred in 2024. Venezia and Firenze are both part of the new fun Italian style initiative. So far, those changes have been highly successful and received positivity by Carnival Cruise Line's guests. And they both have been wildly successful. So that's a good thing. So far, most of the changes Weinstein has proposed have been reasonably successful, something that investors have started to notice. Cruise ships are sailing full. Once again, demand and bookings continue to outpace every expectation in 2023. And the recovery of Carnival Corporation is happening at a much higher pace than what insiders expected. All right, guys, you got a 10% sale running from Scoot Around and Will Power Chairs. The 4th of July sale is all about independence, and a new mobility device gives you the freedom to go wherever you want, and you get a chance to save big on a number of mobility devices, wheelchairs, and power chairs. Just use the code HOTDEALS23 to get 10% off on any mobility devices site-wide. You can shop online or call 1-844-664-7467. Again, use HOTDEALS23 to get your 10% off. You can also use SRN 11137, so the channel gets a little kick for that. So, Scoot Around and Will Power Chairs. And there's a possibility, folks, just a possibility, we might have some news from those areas soon. Just saying. All right, the next story today, folks. Resort World Cruises announced a collaboration with Lego for the first ever summer themed cruises. Wrong picture. I know I screwed something up today. They've announced a collaboration with Lego for the first ever summer themed cruises aboard Resorts World 1, departing on July 12th and continuing on all sailings through August the 30th. During this special voyage, the passenger liner will be transformed into a vibrant world of Lego at sea, featuring colored Lego decorations, engaging activities suitable for all ages. Guests will have the opportunity to take photos with the captain and sailor Lego mascots. Blah, blah, blah. Come on, tongue. On the ship, adding to the excitement. For an even deeper Lego experience, kids can sign up for Lego Buildcation packages at $288 per guest, including an array of activities and workshops and a special Lego box set that you can spill them in the cabin and step on them in your bare feet. No, I'm just kidding. Afterwards, kids will be presented with a special Resort World Cruises and Lego certificate from the sailor Lego mascot. Guests can embark on Resort World 1 in Hong Kong and Kaohsiung. In addition, guests can get a sneak peek of the Lego-themed cruise at the 3-day Summer Fun Roadshow in Hong Kong, hosted by Resort World Cruises from July 7th to 9th. That's starting this week at the MCP Central. In addition to a cruise preview, guests will also be able to take advantage of booking discounts, including a triple discount offer for the first 50 cabins for selected 2- and 3-night sailings. Pretty cool for the kids. There's some adults that do Lego stuff too, and some of the creations are just phenomenal. So, all right, I'll be back with a couple more stories after a quick break from one of my network sponsors. All right, the next story, folks, has to deal, again, folks, I'm dealing with a lot of things that we never talk about on this show. Rarely do we talk about Marella Cruises. You know, they used to be Thompson years ago. Marella will make its long-awaited return to the Dominican Republic in the winter of 24-25, marking its first visit to the island since 2017. Previously known as Thompson Cruises, Marella Cruises is a British cruise holiday company that is owned and managed by TUI Group and offers worldwide voyages on their 5-ship fleet. Marella Cruises plans to send the Explorer 2 to the Dominican Republic and other Caribbean waters toward the end of 2024. This transfer will mark the cruise line's return to the island after a 7-year absence. Marella Explorer 2 will be homeported or stationed in La Romana in the Dominican Republic as of December 24th, 2024. The ship will offer Caribbean voyages catering exclusively to adults. A great excuse to leave the kiddies at home and enjoy all the ship's features and amenities. We're always looking for new ways to improve our customer offering, whether it's new destinations, new itineraries, or ships. Chris Hackney, TUI UK and Ireland Cruise Managing Director. We're therefore pleased to offer a new experience for guests with our sailings departing from La Romana. Itineraries aboard the Marella Explorer 2 will be available for booking starting July the 20th of this year. Depending on the departure date and cruise length, voyages will call on different islands like Grenada, Barbados, St. Lucia, St. Kitts, Dominica, Antigua, St. Martin, Tortola, and Samana. Other itineraries will encompass the southern Caribbean islands of the ABC Islands, Aruba, Curacao, and Bonaire. The one thing that I don't know, folks, and by the way, Samana, some of you may not know that, that is a port on the southern part of the Dominican Republic. Very rarely is it called on, but Marella is going to go in there, which is, I think, pretty neat. They'll also do a couple long sailings. The Marella Explorer has a capacity of 1,800 passengers, was built by Meyer Werft in Papenburg, Germany. The ship launched in May of 1995, has undergone several name changes, including Century, Celebrity Century, Sky Sea Golden Era, amongst others. So, one thing that I don't know, folks, is can U.S. guests book it? And if so, how? And I have not seen anything on that. This so far, it looks like it's going strictly through UK bookings. So, I don't know if that's going to be open to people on this side of the pond or not. I mean, you'd think because of the nearness, they would want American guests also. But we'll have to wait and see on that one. All right, a little bit of news out of Nassau. Nassau, the capital of the Bahamas, is the most popular cruise port in the Caribbean, continues to shatter records for 2023 with 2.256 million visitors already calling on the port through June 30th. This breaks the previous visit record set prior to the pandemic with 2.011 million guests visiting during the first 6 months of 2019. It comes as the summer is heating up for the cruise travel, with multiple ships calling on the port almost daily for the next few months. Nassau may even become the most popular cruise port in the world by the end of the year. Now, I thought it was just going to be the most popular port to visit, which would put it ahead of Cozumel. They're talking about it going ahead of Port Canaveral and Miami as well. So that's pretty amazing. Nassau, I can't wait. I haven't been there since they opened all the new stuff. I'm looking forward to it. All right. Thailand's well-known resort destination, Pattaya, could soon become a major port of call for cruise ships in Asia. The Marine Department plans to propose a $211 million cruise ship port in Pattaya to the cabinet. If the project becomes a reality, it will significantly develop cruises to the Southwest Asian country as it aims to capitalize on the growing popularity of cruise tourism globally. Pattaya would also become one of the few deepwater ports in Thailand with the dedicated cruise dock and terminal. So, my friend Kent that lives over there has been fussing at me for years, trying to get me to come visit Pattaya, Thailand might be in my future. We'll have to see. All right. A lot of things happening this week, guys. A lot of things. A lot of behind the scenes things going on right now. Let's jump over and see who's fussing at me today. Mike's with us. Hi, Mike. Steve's here. Good morning, Steve. Nikki's with us down in Jacksonville. There's Dennis. Hi, Dennis. Steve says, I got my Carnival stock at $9.90. I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, that's about 100%, Steve. That's not bad at all. So, Luminosa. Remember that the S between vowels is pronounced Z as in pizza or lasagna. Luminosa. Okay. I put too much S in it, I see. And then it says blockheads. Yeah. There's an entire adult community of blockheads on here. That's probably true. Kenneth's with us up in Pennsylvania. Hi, Kenneth. Z-Show Cruise Fun is with us. Hadn't seen you for a few days. Says good morning to everybody. Glad you're with us. So, all right, guys. A lot happening. Tomorrow's a very important day for me personally and this channel. And I will say just this much at this point, that it also involves my agent. So we shall see. He has some work to do tomorrow. And Dennis was referring to the Lego blockheads. I knew what you were referring to, Dennis. I was completely agreeing with you. Yeah, I was around some kids for a couple of years. They had those damn things all over the house. And I always walk barefooted. I'm just a barefoot person. I'd step on those suckers constantly. And I'm like, so, anyway, yeah, Legos, that's quite a bit. And then I was at the back when I was going to the Y every day to swim. And I'm sitting in the steam room one day after a workout and talking with a guy in there, and come to find out that he does do-it-yourself building guides for Lego sculptures. And he's got a YouTube channel that just does, do-it-yourself things for Lego folks. And it's extremely popular. Yeah, they're really blockheads. So, all right, guys. That's going to wrap it up for today. If you want to hop over at 1 o'clock for the solo cruise show with Pete, that'll be that's always up in the community tab, and we'll see how things go with that. I think next week Pete's going to be going to Iceland, and probably I'll do the show for him next week. But anyway, we'll see. So that's going to wrap it up for today, guys. As always, stay safe, stay healthy, think about cruising, and hopefully one day soon we'll all get together on the high seas. Have a fabulous day, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time for Thursday Travel and Cruise Industry News. Later, y'all.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner. Hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chillie's Cruises.